Hello everybody and welcome to the first Casual Gamecast of 2022! Yes, my friends, we are back after a small but probably well-deserved hiatus. It is your boys and we are back to give you all that gaming goodness. If you have never seen the Casual Gamecast before, we are a weekly subject-based podcast for the everyday gamer brought to you by the team at Casual Game Content. As per usual, I am Phil Keogh. Like the moving of the tides, like the setting of the sun, I am here to podcast to you once more. And as usual, I am joined by the ever-present, effervescent man in the robe, Shane Bowe. Hello, Shane.
Hello.
Love it. Anyway, moving on. And we are also joined by a man who is rarely seen but always missed. That's right, the man in the chair. That is Aaron Thompson. Hello, Aaron.
Hello, hi, it's me.
Every time. Anyway, moving swiftly on, we do have somebody you may recognize. You know him, you love him, and we are very, very lucky to welcome him into our little casual gaming family. That's right, it is Ciaran Busby, aka Buzz. Hello, sir.
How's it going? Keeping well.
Okay, we all kind of have our little thing. I come in and I shout and I lose my breath and all this kind of crap. Shane goes, hello, and then Aaron kind of comes in with a creepy little whisper and you come in with like a slug.
Yeah, you have to be a slug, man. Get that bit of country accent into you, know.
That's it, yeah. That's it. I just like we're setting up our own personal brands, you know?
Yeah, I resent being called creepy. I was just trying to be sexy, Phil.
Creepy, sexy. It's all in the eye of the
say,
beholder.
there's a fine line.
Another man's creepy, you know?
Yeah.
Possible podcast title right there. But what brought us back together, apart from the love of all things podcasting, this week, ladies and gentlemen, the topic of the show will be our most anticipated games of 2022, which I think is a kind of a nice way to casually, if you'll forgive the pun, get back together and chat about games that we are excited about before we start cracking open the serious topics once again. And if you, my friends, want to suggest any serious topics, you can do so in our socials. They're down below in the description. You can go to our Facebook, where it's probably going to get seen the easiest, or our Discord, but fire them anywhere. Just make sure to tag at Casual Game Code so that you get seen. Okay? Awesome. Now, before we jump into all of that, it has been about a month. It's been about a month since we talked to each other, because we had like one or two shows after we stopped recording because we pre-recorded, and we actually forgot to put one out. So we have a bonus one there in the pipe, but it has been a month. So, like, how has it been? Like, Shane, tell me. How was your Christmas? How was your New Year's? What were you playing? What were you doing? How did your time go?
I spent most of Christmas sick, not COVID sick, just like head cold sick. Like nothing, you know, it's been lasting a really long time because none of us have been sick in like 2 years. So now that when you get a cold, it's like the infinite cold that never goes away. But besides that, I had a nice, quiet, chill Christmas. I played the campaign of the new Call of Duty, which is exactly what you'd expect it to be. It is a big spectacle, you know, popcorn, mindless, shoot Nazis. What more do you want? With some choice acting here and there that's a bit... Ooh. But anyway, I've been playing some Dirt 5 because it's free on PlayStation Plus. What an awesome game, and what a really pretty game.
Yeah, that's probably scratching some Horizon itches for you, is it?
It is a little bit, yes. And in terms of life stuff, I am back fostering doggies for the local dog charity.
Oh, have we a 2022 pup date?
We have a 2022 pup date. I am currently, me and the missus, are currently looking after Roisin, the three-legged collie.
Roisin!
Very recently three-legged, by the way. She was found, like, you know, in a dire way after being caught in a trap or something like that, and had to have her leg amputated over the Christmas. So now she's with us until she can get all the rest of her vaccinations and all that kind of stuff, so she can go up for adoption. She's a sweetheart. She's a lovely little thing. She's so nice and gentle, and she's really nice, and she just, you know, she's making the best of it. Dogs are resilient, man. They bounce back so fast.
Absolutely.
Like, she's a happy little thing, dragging me down the road for a walk and stuff, and trying to chase cats and everything. Like, it's crazy. This is all in the space of a month this happened, like, and she's just normal again, not a bother.
Yeah. Well, like, existential dread isn't something you generally find outside of like humanity, you know, which is a blessing for all other creatures, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
like if you
very
say,
true.
did you say 3 legs?
3 legs, yeah.
Which one's missing?
One of her back ones.
Ah, okay. Yeah. It's amazing. Like, I remember the first time I saw a 3-legged dog, I was about 7 or 8, and I was at my doctor's office, and I was being brought in for whatever reason. Maybe my mother was sick, or maybe I was sick. I don't remember the specifics of this, Shane, okay? I'm sorry, okay? But I remember they had a little rock garden that you could kind of see through a window, and I thought I was going nuts, because I thought I seen something jumping past, and then I see something jumping past again, and it was a 3-legged Jack Russell, if I remember correctly, with one front paw, and it was just moving at the speed of light. Like, I never saw anything like it, you know.
Yeah,
mad,
they're so resilient.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
she's young too, so she's loads of time to bounce back.
if
Anyway, yeah,
you
move on. Let's
know
not talk
anyone
about
that is in need of a decent dog, a beautiful dog
Yes.
even, give this man a ring.
Yes, LSPCA. Well, contact the LSPCA and fill out an adoption form. I don't have that kind of pull yet, unfortunately.
Yet.
Yet.
Aaron, my man, how was the Yuletides?
It was very good. I enjoyed it. It was mostly dealt with family, or as I mentioned, as I said in the green room, I've a new toy, and so I've been learning that.
That's a
and
piano
been
to all of our
fun.
audio listeners.
Oh yeah, that's a piano for anyone who's watching in black and white. And so yeah, it's I love it. It's the best thing I've ever spent money on. So I've been just putting it in front of this desk. It's the same length as the front of the desk and the same height.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I've just been sitting here. I've had like just drawing in MIDI clips, doing like just loads of different things. It's fun. I've been hitting so many of them keys, you wouldn't believe it. And that's kind of been me for the past while. I wish I could say more, but yeah, that's it. I've been playing with new toys. I've been playing some games as well, as we mentioned, but sure we'll get on to that soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about Buzz? Come here. Okay, we had you on as a guest. Okay,
Indeed.
you are now in as a regular, a part of the team.
I'm very, very happy. Very happy.
So, let me start by asking you, my friend, what did you get up to over Christmas? Because now I don't have to mince words anymore. You know, I don't have to go like, you know, should I say this? Should I not say this? Will he come back? Will he not? You're locked in now. You know, you're locked in, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
That's it. For life. Like I proposed, there was a whole wedding thing that people didn't see over Christmas.
I wasn't joking when I said he was the prettiest man in the business. But Kieran,
He's everywhere.
tell me, man, what were you playing? What were you doing? Did you have a good one?
I had a great one, and to be fair, a lot of it was spent at home because, like many people I think of the country, there was no COVID in the house, thankfully, but we did isolate a lot.
Nice.
My mum had a bit of a kind of a cold in her, and it took her like a week to get a PCR, and then came back negative anyway. But yeah, even besides all that, I actually watched a lot of films. Didn't get to play as much Horizon as I wanted to, but about 15 hours into it, and you can see it in the background. We might talk about that later anyway.
Absolutely.
But yeah, very, very good. And I started a new job, actually. That's the other one. This week.
You did, because like the last time we had you on, you were formerly of entertainment.ie. Now, I'm not going to ask you to divulge any more than you need to, but you have started a new job. How's that going?
I have started a new job. Going very well. Only started Monday. Still settling in, but it's going very well. It's a game and an esports company in Ireland, for anyone who knows. And that's the sus. So, yeah, 4 days of the game and it's
nice. That's a very productive way to start to 2022 right there, isn't it?
Big time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, very quickly as well. I did, I don't know if there's any, maybe very quickly, briefly touching it, but I saw The Matrix, I don't know, rebooted or whatever it's called, and it was fairly just mediocre.
Wow, that's the best review I've heard so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I've not seen it, and that's the best review I've heard too.
Yeah, like we went and watched the first one like 3 or 4 months ago in preparation for this, and then we forgot to watch the second two, and then I watched the first one again recently by myself because she didn't want to rewatch it again after watching it so long ago, and like I love that first movie. It's in my top 10, and if it's not in there, it's an honorable mention at the best. Like if I really sat down and thought about it, it would probably be in there. But
yeah,
like it's one of the best like sci-fi action, steampunky type movies or whatever. Like, I don't know how to describe The Matrix, but you know what I'm saying. And the biggest problem with that goddamn franchise, and I'm sorry for going off on a rant now, but the whole reason the first one's good is the journey of Neo. Yeah. And then when he flies, it was never good again. Because we rewatched the second and third one this week, and they're okay, but they're not a patch on the first one. Like,
I agree. I think they kind of got lesser in quality the more it went on, but this definitely is the least of the lessers.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, is that like after watching that third one, which I think is actually kind of better than the second one in retrospect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people give that one shit. I think it's actually a little bit better than the third one or the second one.
It is.
I disagree with you, but we could definitely have a
it's really whatever you're looking for. But like, I just went into the third one with like hugely low expectations, and it kind of came above that. I think that's why I got a few extra points. But from what I understand, the fourth one just misses the mark entirely. So whatever. Anyway, this is not the Keanu Reeves cast as much as I may wish it was. So let's instead, for the very first time of 2022, Shane Bowe, Aaron Thompson, will you please, sirs, play that thing?
It's the topic of the show.
So, we have played the thing, and that means it's time to talk about the thing. And what is the thing? Well, the thing this week is the topic of the show, which is our most anticipated games of 2022. Yes, sir, a new year full of games that none, and I mean none, will ever get pushed into 2023 and onwards. So, let's crack in. Now, when I think games that are coming in 2022, there's a massive one for me that it's like the unsurmountable new release that is just, if I could only have one game next year, it is this one. So do you mind if I start there?
Go for it.
I'll just be sitting on my hands the entire time if I don't. So my most anticipated game for sure of 2022 is Horizon Forbidden West. I just can't get over how awesome that game looks.
Yeah. It looks amazing. PSA to anyone as well. Be warned about spoilers, because like the full PS4 version of the game has leaked. Well, not the full version, but like a version with like some assets and stuff missing. But a good chunk of the game has leaked online somewhere. So just be spoiler cautious. We won't be spoiling anything because we haven't looked at it. But just PSA to the listeners out there and to anyone else who may not know. But yes, Horizon Forbidden West looks unbelievable.
Yes, there's a weird build out there, so be wary on Twitter or do any blocking you need to do. But like, I recently played through some Horizon, much like Buzz, and we'll get to you and your opinions, of course, but like, I played through enough of it to kind of remember everything. I got about halfway through, and then I went, show me the ending again on YouTube, because I'm okay to not play the whole thing again. But I forgot how good that story was. And especially as you get towards the end, it really goes places, and it's probably one of the best stories to come out of a Sony first party. Like, it has intricacies that you don't generally see. Like The Last of Us has gut punches, and so does God of War. But like, the sci-fi narrative that they painted in Horizon was really intricate. It took a long time to get into it, but when it does get going, it really gets going. It's really impressive.
Yeah, for the first while, I was kind of like, Jesus, this just seems like really, really out there, like this whole like tribal society. Whatever. I'm still not like that far into it. I'm only about 15 hours, but I really am enjoying my time with it. And it's kind of like, it's definitely one of those games where I'm kind of like, I only have like maybe an hour, and I don't want to just spend an hour in it. I want to spend a long time in it. So I reckon this Saturday now, when I have a bit of time, I'm going to just spend a lot of time into it. But yeah, very, very good, very rich. Very open. I haven't really been fast traveling a lot, but there was one point I think where I just made it to a mission where like you had to get miles across the map, and I was like, jeez, this is just taking forever.
Fast travel all day. Oh no.
Yeah.
I hadn't got fast travel unlocked, which is the thing, or like through that specific place, and I was just like going through this really tough area with some of the metal dinosaurs, and I was like, oh gosh, this is just annoying me now. But I am playing on very hard for the first time too. Yeah. It was recommended to play on that.
If you're playing it on like the hardest difficulty, you kind of need to do that in New Game Plus. And I even looked it up. Apparently, Guerrilla expects you to have played it before, because you unlock weapons and armor that allows you to kind of play it at that level, because that's what I went back to as well. And I was like, no, I'm not going to use that late armor. I'll look like a knob running around the first few missions in this like shiny, all gussied up thing. And I swear to God, like every small animal was like a threat. It was killing me left, right, and center. But like the second I put that on, bang, here we are. But not to dwell on that old game. The new one that is releasing at the time of recording next month, whoo, that looks like one pretty ass game, and I am super disappointed in one way. I'm sorry for anyone that doesn't have a PS5, but I am a little bit disappointed that it's coming out on PS4, because I could only imagine if that looks that good on cross-platform.
Yeah.
Imagine that was just PS5, dude. What could they do?
Yeah. When we get another big first-party exclusive that's PS5 exclusive, it's going to be insane. Like, it's going to be nuts. Like the next, I don't know, thing to come from Naughty Dog or Insomniacs, the next Spider-Man game or whatever. Like when that's not on last gen, my God, holy crap!
Absolutely. And also like the setting, San Francisco, lost to time. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds nice. Yeah, all that East Coast, you know, not what's the I was going to say tropical, but San Francisco's not tropical. It's like a temperate climate.
It would be,
yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, plenty of hipsters, plenty of homeless people. That's what I've been told is what San Francisco's vibe is at the moment. But you're either super rich or you're super poor. But I wonder how they transcribe the actual like San Francisco vibe. Like, I wonder, is there going to be, because there's like a Midwestern vibe to the original Horizon, and I wonder will there be like, you know, the ruins of a Starbucks or whatever, like, you know.
Oh, that'd be deadly.
Yeah.
Oh, there probably will. There will
be references. Yeah, 100%.
That's the Robot Dinosaur catch up. Anybody else got anything on the top of their minds that they need to speak about for 2022?
Yes, definitely, because it's coming out the same month as Horizon Forbidden West, and it's painful to me that it's in the same month. Which means I won't be playing Horizon Forbidden West for a while, because Horizon Forbidden West comes out on the 18th and this releases on the 25th, and it is Elden Ring, baby. FromSoft's next big game. I cannot wait. I am like nothing when I turn on the PlayStation brings me joy right now, because I know Elden Ring is so close. No matter what I'm playing, I could be playing Forbidden West and I'm like, no, Horizon's in a week, I don't care.
Yeah, it looks pretty sweet. It does look pretty sweet.
Yeah. The worst thing I could have ever done was watch any of the network test stuff, because it made me want it like so much more.
Yeah, like Aaron, do you have any interest in that, considering you're kind of on a Dark Souls kick at the moment?
Yeah, so my Souls journey has been, I got Bloodborne kind of when I got my PS4. Obviously, I enjoyed that. I didn't finish it because I was at a stage in life where I was trying not to invite too much stress into my life, and that's probably not the best games to be playing. And so, yeah, I played a bit of Bloodborne, and then just this past week, I got a copy of Dark Souls 3. I've been playing that, and I was told, this will get you into it. You'll be playing Souls games after this. You'll be loving inviting stress into your life, and weren't wrong. I keep launching it. It keeps pulling me back. Yeah. So I was also told. I was like, you're gonna end up picking up Elden Ring. Get Dark Souls 3 into you first. So I'm currently in training mode for Elden Ring, I suppose you could say.
The beauty about modern gaming is that like you get a game on launch day for $70, and it's like 2 months later it's 40. You know, that's the weird thing about modern pricing. So by the time you're finished Dark Souls 3 properly, it's probably going to be half the price.
I don't know if I'm going to finish it properly.
I don't know.
I don't. Maybe we'll see. You know me, I'll commit myself to it, and then 20 minutes later be like, actually, I want to play this now. And so we'll see if that's a commitment I can keep. But no, Elden Ring, I was the same as yourself, Shane. I was watching all the network tests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty game. That's a pretty looking game. I'm very much looking forward to walking around evil Breath of the Wild.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong, guys.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to a couple of nights of just watch. It looks like a very nice world to explore.
Yes. Big round of applause there, whoever their art director is, because
yes,
it just looks phenomenal in that regard.
And like Shane, for you, that's like a massive Souls guy. Like, what is it about this one? Is it just because it's another Souls that you're interested, or like, what's the
that's
big
part
draw?
of it. Like, us people who are hardcore Souls fans, like, we're always chasing that dragon. Like, I'll play everything that's even like I'll play any Souls clone or any, like, knockoff, or I was like playing Lords of the Fallen day one, and that game is atrociously shy. But the fact it's another Souls game, the fact that Souls is finally going open world, or kind of 70% open worlds, like open areas,
open map
with linear sections, and then onto the next open area, kind of
sandbox type thing.
Sandboxy kind of, sandboxy with linear things. That, and just I'm ready to get lost in more lore, man. Like, I'm ready to go down the VatiVidya rabbit hole of YouTube, lore videos, and read every little item description, every little detail, and just get lost in this world. That's the thing about the Souls games that attracts me more than anything else. I'm not a glutton for the punishment or the difficult combat and stuff. That's just something I take along with it. It's the lore and the like, oh, this item references this thing. Maybe that means that this guy is a descendant of this guy, and it's all
he's a descendant of Jon Snow.
Yeah, all that stuff. So it's all your own little stories that you can piece together, and then you'll talk to someone else and they'll go, no, I actually read it this way, thinking that it was this thing, and then you have two completely different ideas of what you think, like, the history of this world is and stuff.
Can I interject there as well? What worries me about it, because I love that stuff too, even though I don't even play the games that heavily, like, I'll watch those YouTube videos all day long. They're really interesting. But like with Railroad Martin, after getting involved, like, do you think there's just like a textbook that's like, no, this is exactly what it is? There's no room for interpretation. It's written, Maybe. From what I understand, like, which was something that worried me as well. But from what I understand, like, whenever they started working on this 3, 4, 5 years ago or whatever, he's like, Railroad Martin set up a whole big world and characters and lore and all this, and handed it off to FromSoft, and that's the last he's seen of it. It wouldn't be like him to not finish a project, though. I know, right? And he told them that, like, I have done it now. After that, it is up to you what you need to slash, add, remove, cut, insert, change, whatever you want. He just... We have a world. We call it Lodran. And you must kindle fire. And I think something like that, yeah? Okay, cool. Yeah. It actually looks still very Soulsy, like. It looks very Soulsy, like, though, doesn't it? It's like every fucking thing they do has to be like, you kindle and you do this and you do that and you do that. It's kind of like, I know it's their shtick, but like, they keep trying to change things so much. Like, now it's open world, now it's Sekiro, now it's whatever. But it's like, why does it always have to be the bonfire thing? And why does it, do you know what I mean? I guess it just works. I don't know. It's Miyazaki has this obsession with like every story in all the Souls games and the Bloodborne games and everything. They're all about the cycle. Everything is cyclical and starts again. And he has this obsession with this, and it even just that spills into his game making as well. Like, everything is, and but there's always reasons. He always gives a fairly decent reason as to why. These ones are called sites of grace, but they are basically bonfires. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just a game mechanic that works for them too. At the same time, some of it has to be like, oh, we got to give the fans what they know and love as well. We need to give them bonfires to rest that, to level up, and this kind of shit. Yeah, because it does keep people in there if they can just level it up. It is a great secret to having. This is the last point we'll make on this before we move on, but it is a great secret to making a balls hard game and still making it approachable, is having that ability to just like keep leveling up at a bonfire until you can just burst through, because that's how I played them. And that's just the way it is. But yeah, enough Elden Ring, for the love of God. It's coming out soon. Shane, you will tell us about it for weeks on end, so look forward to that. Anybody else?
I'm going to jump in there. Oh, okay, no, go ahead.
Please do. Please do.
No, go for it.
Buzz, you're part of the team now. Just hit him a smack if you need to. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, right. I'll jump in there very quickly. I'm going to say that as it's coming out very shortly, and because you've mentioned kind of Breath of the Wild for adults, whatever, this is like Breath of the Wild maybe for the same age or younger, and that's Pokemon Legends Arceus, which just looks... I can't wait to
Yes. That's like, again, like Dark Souls, that's the big open world change to the series.
Yeah.
big time, and I can't wait to get my hands on it.
Can I interrupt here for 2 seconds? Can we get a show of hands or a ruling on, is it Arceus or Arceus or Aix? How the hell do you pronounce it?
I think it's pronounced Arceus based on the anime. I think that's what I've heard.
Right.
I'm not sure. I just always seen it as Arceus, to be honest with you.
Arceus.
Like it sounds like arse, and it's just like, you know, you're arsing around, you're Arceus, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, I don't know, because like I where I work and people come in to order it and stuff, I've heard it pronounced like
I always thought it was Arceus because there was like an arc because he has like semi-crescent moons on the back.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think it's just whatever way it was pronounced in the anime was where it comes from, because like this is not a new Pokemon. Am I wrong in saying that, Buzz?
No, he's like the god Pokemon.
He's the god Pokemon. Quite he's from like Diamond or
Diamond
Black
and Pearl
and White
era,
Black and White, I think, was it?
Yeah.
No?
Oh, yes.
So like, but this is like specifically going because he's the god Pokemon. So this is kind of like the Assassin's Creed Origins of Pokemon, where they're going back and, you know, interacting with God and whatever, and they're throwing, you know, wooden Pokeballs and what have you. I'll be honest though, I'm not the biggest Pokemans, and I do dip in every so often though. I played Sword and Shield, and I played Hey You or whatever. Let's Go Pikachu. That's what it was.
Yes.
Pokemon Hey You.
There was Hey You Pikachu was a thing on the Nintendo 64, baby. But yeah, like I don't know. I'm kind of looking at this going, if it was ever going to get me back in, open world seems like the way to do it. But it also looks very sparse or something. What do you think, Buzz? You're a Pokemon fan.
I did see, like, you know, like when I'm looking at the trailers and stuff, there is I had the kind of same problem with Breath of the Wild. I know everyone's going to say, like, oh, you're wrong, it's a 10 out of 10 game and stuff, and it is. It's a fantastic game.
It's been nice having you, Buzz. See you later.
I still just thought it was quite sparse. You know, there's lots of grass, lots of cliffs, you go everywhere and everything, but it's just a few enemies spattered around. But I am kind of getting the same vibe out of the trailers that I've seen for Arceus so far, but I'm really hoping that it, like, breaks the mold, just Pokemon roaming everywhere, because that would be phenomenal, like a proper zoological, like
yeah. I get it. Like I 100% get the Zelda argument, and like the only way that made sense for me and probably most people was, you know, Zelda's known for big open fields. You know, like the first time you go to Hyrule Field in Nintendo 64, it's like whoa, and now you look back on it and it's terrible. But like, you know, it made sense kind of there. But then when you think about Pokemon, like if you play it out on the Game Boy, you know, you can't go 4 steps without encountering a Pokemon. And it's weird to me then to be in like a field, a big meadow, and I'm like, oh, maybe there's one off in the distance somewhere, you know, like it's bizarre. I don't know. But then again, I haven't really seen that much of it, so maybe it's not like that. I'm just kind of making a lot of assumptions here. But I don't know, like these guys, they make like the same game since I was a child. I have to give them some bit of credit, like no matter what way it turns out, to just giving this a stab. Like, you know, it's going to be their first draft of anything, you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's definitely something that a lot of people have been asking for a long time. Like definitely the older kind of generation of Pokemon fans, and I really hope that even if it doesn't turn out well, that it gets another chance to do well and really action what people want.
I think what they're aiming for with this is, I suppose, inevitable for Pokemon. It's kind of where Pokemon has to head. Obviously, they maybe they can get away with that same game formula every year, but eventually you're going to have to update and offer something new and better graphics. And I think like that's kind of the inevitable endpoint of like that is technically like what you really want is the anime in a game, essentially, where it's a full world that like feels real, and you can encounter Pokemon anywhere. Like it's the next end step. Now the problem is obviously what was the last one that they tried to deliver and the issues that came on that.
Diamond and Pearl remake, was it?
Sword and Shield, probably, with it.
Sword and Shield, that's the one. Yeah. I used to be a massive Pokemon fan. Lately I fell out with it just because I hadn't kept up with the consoles. That was it. That was the only reason I fell out with it. It's still, I love Pokemon. If I had a Switch, I would pick it up. Maybe if it's good, it might convince me to buy one.
It's okay. We're not putting you to the post here about your love for Pokemon, dude. It's okay. It's okay.
No, but
I'll lend you my Switch and my.
There you go. There you go. Problem solved.
Oh, love
teamwork makes the dream work. But like I my opinion is that like I think that they've kind of overthought it a little bit. Like, if they made Sword and Shield, right, and just made a bigger map and allowed multiplayer, done. You know, like if all the routes weren't like disconnected, if it was just one big map that loaded as you went around, and it was just like an MMO style jump in, jump out multiplayer. Like, that's what that free to play, or not free to play, but cheaper Pokemon knockoff thing that is amazing to me that is still allowed to exist from like a year or two ago is. And that does really well from what I hear. And like, it just amazes me that Pokemon just doesn't do that. It seems like the next step rather than trying to break the mold.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, what you just mentioned there, I think you'd find roughly 97% of the general Pokemon video game audience would agree on what their dream Pokemon game is. I think every Pokemon fan knows what. And I don't know, maybe the reason if we haven't got it is not to throw too many shots. Maybe the studio might not be possible of it. I don't know.
I think they are. No, I think they are. But like, it's like the Switch. It's like anything else that's popular and is selling gangbusters. Yeah. Why change it? You know, and that's just the reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get there's hardware limitations as well. I know it's not that simple, but as I said, it's like everyone has the dream Pokemon. Everyone kind of tends to have the same image of the dream Pokemon game. I mean, we all want the same thing, and it's just kind of it's a waiting game of hope whether we'll get it.
My new dream
if Nintendo
Pokemon
ever
game is going to be
decides,
Battle Royale.
sorry.
My new dream Pokemon game is going to be Battle Royale. Like, you drop in as Pikachu, you have to pick up Thunderbolt or whatever like that, and then man,
Actually, that wouldn't be a
one
bad
big
idea.
Pokeball closing in as well. It's not a storm, right?
That wouldn't be a bad idea, because like they did a MOBA recently. Why not? You know, go nuts. Drop in as a Charizard, smoke some fools. You know, absolutely. Like, that'd be class. But yeah, I think it's definitely one to keep an eye out for. If we're talking kind of open worldy type games, it's hard not to think of, would you call it open world? I guess you would. It's hard not to think of another game that's coming out soon that's in the Arkham universe, the Suicide Squad game.
Yes.
Do you think we're definitely getting that this year?
Probably, if so late, very late, like Christmas, October, November release, I reckon, for the Christmas market.
Has it gotten a date yet? I'm not sure.
No, it's on. Doing a bit of research prior to this recording, I was looking up like a list of all the big Christmas releases, and Eurogamer, I believe, had them all broken down by month, and then there was just like a big list at the end of like, TBC.
Oh, really?
And Suicide Squad was in there and stuff, like, so stuff that you kind of feel should be maybe coming out this year, but
because I think they've got Gotham Knights as well, haven't they? Like, that could be
Gotham Knights as well, which I think will probably pop first. I think Gotham Knights is probably further along than Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but Gotham Knights isn't Rocksteady, is that right?
Oh, no.
That's WB Montreal.
Check this.
Oh, I think Gotham Knights is the Origins folks, yeah.
Yeah, WB. So, like, that's the big question for me. Like, I think they have the chops for it, don't get me wrong. Like, I've never played Origins, but I heard it's good.
I like Origins, I do.
But having said that, I don't think I've ever heard anyone, like, everyone goes to bat for Origins, and fair play, it's a great game from what I hear, but every time somebody does that to me, I go, but is it as good as the other three? And I go, no, not really.
Yeah, I only played about 10 minutes
it's
of it.
the fourth best one, do you know what I mean? But it's still a great game, but it's the fourth best one. And like, I wonder, will this be the case here as well, where it's just like, okay, now you've got 4 Batman type people, and it's just kind of like a watered down experience. But then again, actually, the Suicide Squad, you have 4 characters too, so this is what worries me. You see, it's like, are we at the point where you can have as fleshed out a game if it's not just Batman? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I wasn't too sold on Suicide Squad, and like, I haven't really been sold on DC in general trying to make Suicide Squad a thing everywhere. They're trying to make it through all the movies and the merch and the cartoons and the comic.
It's Harley Quinn.
It is. And then I seen that gameplay demo that they showed recently enough, and I was like, man, that looks hella fun.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, the gameplay sold me.
Must say as well, I've been bought into that DC stuff of like Suicide Squad, because I thought the last film was great. I actually thought it was a fantastic film. The Harley Quinn animated TV show, again, also fantastic. I'm trying to think of another topic to make it round out the tree that you usually have to make a point. I had it in my head where it's gone. But this game, I'm going to say this game looks great, yeah.
Yeah, but this could be your trifecta. Like,
Yeah.
they are doing good stuff now, but it is weird how much they're pushing the narrative of Suicide Squad of all goddamn things.
Yeah.
Like, they've got such a fantastic rogues gallery that why focus on the B Squad? Like, you know?
I know.
But it's a Harley Quinn thing all day long. But yeah, like, I'm excited. Like, yeah, just put it out there. So are we as excited as a group? I want to feel the Heat signature here. Are we more excited for Suicide Squad or Gotham Knights?
Suicide Squad for me because it looked more fun. Like, as much as I like the Arkham series, Gotham Knights looks like it's more of the Arkham series with characters I care less about.
It looks like extended DLC to me, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and it's like I'm not up on Nightwing and whatever, you know, Robin number 9, whichever Robin this is, and you know.
Is that like Mambo number 5?
Maybe. Like, God only know, I don't know what number Robin he's up to now at this stage. So like, I don't know. I'm cautious about Gotham Knights, but I'm excited for Suicide Squad.
I'm
Anybody
excited
else?
for Suicide too. Yeah, Suicide Squad.
I'll be honest. I'm cautious in either now. They're you know me. They're
You can just say
yeah,
neither if you want, like.
yeah. They're yeah, no, sorry. I unfortunately don't have an interest in either. Not against it. It's just they're not the type of games I was ever
Yeah.
usually into. And you know, I just prefer different things. So unfortunately, I can't take a side here.
That's fine,
I
but
feel
tell
like
me.
so I've ultimately let everyone down.
You've not let anyone down. How dare you? Never come in here. I nearly called you shit, Aaron, and never tell me to use this mind because you have been doing nothing but fantastic work. But Aaron, I need to know.
Okay.
We are a Suicide Squad trifecta here, and that didn't interest you. What does interest you in 2022?
Ho ho. Here's an interesting topic to bring up.
Right?
I've never played a God of War game. Again. Yeah. That was not necessarily by choice. I've always had an interest and they looked great to me. I just never managed to get my hands on one. It was just simple thing as like
is there like a shortage of God of War discs in Carlo or something, or like what's the story?
maybe either that or they're all hiding from me. They've if they're our local GameStop, I don't know how far you have cameras into the center of town, but maybe they can see me coming and immediately hide all the stock away. But I just never got the chance. However, tomorrow, God of War comes out on PC.
That's right. That's right.
And that I am very much looking forward to. Unfortunately, I still won't get to play it for a long while because Monster Hunter Rise came out yesterday. So I'm going to be playing that for a bit. But straight away, at least I have lined up directly afterwards. I didn't want to say Monster Hunter Rise because technically it's already passed. This is still yet to come out, we can say. So I've a bit of excitement for the release. But yeah, directly after Rise, I'm going to be hopping straight into God of War PC. I never got to experience it. I've only heard good things. I've obviously seen bits by now. It's impossible to have avoided. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to finally understanding what's going on with Bald Man.
Yeah.
And have you've never played the originals then? I take.
No, never got a
Watch
chance.
a
never.
YouTube video on that, I'd say, before
It's
jumping
worth
in.
getting a recap. Yeah, there is some stuff that
Yeah.
will pop up.
It's God of War 4, and it's very much God of War 4. So like, as much as it tries not to
Okay.
be a part, it gets there. So like, you'll want that
I was led to
backstory,
believe differently. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for warning me about that. I was led to believe differently. I will do.
Exactly. And with that, probably my number 2 anticipated game is Ragnarok. Realistically, it would have been number 1 after the last one, but there's something about this I don't know. I'm not as hyped about it as I thought I was going to be. But I'm sure the month it comes out, I'll be like, but like, I don't
Is
know.
that definitely confirmed for this year though? Because
I'm pretty
No,
sure.
that's also on the TBC list.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's going to be like a
it
Christmas
seems like
release,
one of those things,
you
yeah.
know.
As we start pushing closer to like June and E3 season, all this kind of stuff, you're probably going to start seeing more
Get dates.
gameplay demos and all that kind of stuff. And it'll be
Yeah.
like, boom, release date trailer, release whatever, November.
It just looks
22.
so polished. Like, it looks like it's ready. But having said that, if they do need time, they'll get it. You know, like,
no problem.
They
Yeah,
definitely
absolutely. Like, they're not going to be pushed out with a crappy version. Like, you know, like there's a lot riding on it, and Sony are good that way, you know.
Is that getting a PS4 release?
Yes.
It's
Damn.
is it?
I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, maybe
Google
it is.
food time. Google.
Oh,
I believe
somebody
it
got
is.
the Google in there.
But as we're Googling,
no,
like,
I was like, it's coming out on PlayStation 2. Sorry, wrong game.
yeah, it's a really weird move, but SCI are really throwing it out there for the PS2.
PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It is. Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, I thought that was going to be PS5 only. I apologize.
No. We've not seen a lot of that. Like, we've only seen, like, Ratchet and Clank. And that's about it. Returnal?
Returnal,
next
Demon's
Spider-Man
Souls,
game?
Ratchet and Clank.
Demon's Souls.
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
2
2
is going
PS5,
to be PS5 exclusive.
Like, quick sidebar, do we think that would not be the case if it wasn't for COVID and, you know, lack of PS5?
I was about to say the
people's hands?
shortage, yeah. I think it's too risky of a move to release onto a console that, like, just not enough people have.
Yeah, you're alienating those,
Yeah.
whatever it is, 20 or 30 million PS4s that were sold. I don't know, I forget the exact number.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Sony comes out and, like, won't stop sucking their own dick about how many consoles they've sold.
I know, yeah.
I wonder how many people had to rebuy consoles because they sold their PS4 trying to get a PS5 and then just couldn't get one and now have to rebuy a PS4.
Well, that's in the news this week. Apparently, Sony have, like, ran back up or essentially kickstarted the production of PS4s again because of the shortage of PS5s.
Man, you cannot get anything at the moment. You cannot get PS5s, you cannot get PS5 accessories, you cannot get PS4s, and you cannot get PS4 accessories either. Like any of the first party stuff, the Dual Senses, the Dual Shocks, the Pulse headsets, all that stuff you just cannot get
I looked
anywhere.
I looked up in our local trading place, CEX, the other day. I have a controller that works for a PS4, but it only works when you plug it in. So I'm kind of thinking, like, but it works when you plug it out, but it loses its sync every time. So, like, if I brought that into a CEX, they'd plug it in once and go, yeah, it works. You know, so I was kind of like, should I be cheeky? I don't know. But I thought I would have gotten like 30 quid for it or something. It's like 65 trade-in on a controller for a console that's like nearly a decade old.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't that
I think I have
mental,
two of
like?
them here. I'm going to make a bit of quick.
They resell them. They resell DualShocks for more second hand than they retail for new.
Yes, they're like €85 or something ridiculous in CEX.
Do you want to hear something even a bit more sickening? Do you want to know how much they're selling PS5 825 gigabyte console for?
Not
€795.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's dropped since Christmas. It was up in the 800s just before Christmas.
So was the Series X in CEX, yeah. But but like
currently, actually, this will show you, right? Just before the last
Yeah.
branch of the tangent, steered us back to the road. Currently, my place of employment, GameStop, are offering more trade-in store credit for a PS4 Pro than they are for an Xbox Series X or a PS5.
Wow. Do they know something we don't know?
I don't know what's going on, but that's our highest trade value at the moment is a PS4 Pro.
That's nuts.
And that's a retailer that must not be named and bleeped out.
Yes, of course. Yeah. I won't be there much longer anyway. So
We've got a new transition in our midst here as well. We're all getting new jobs. Way. Yeah. I think that's nuts, and I think this is a really weird place we're in at the moment for hardware. But speaking of really weird places and years and whatnot, Buzz, I'm going to throw it over to you again even. What's going on?
Yeah,
what are you looking forward to, my man?
I'm going to go another kind of smaller release. Oh, man. I might do a quick fire around and just get three of them bashed out really quickly because they're not
please,
big releases,
let's
but
go.
they're ones that I really want to do. I'm going to say Life is Strange Remaster Collection. I'm going to say the Saints Row remake. And what else am I going to say? I'll go with those two at the minute anyway. Let's keep vamping it up because I'm really excited for them. I'm a huge fan of Life is Strange. Ever since I played the first, it just put me such hit me in the field so hard. Like it was one of the first. I wasn't one of the first games to maybe like really cry or whatever. Like, but it was definitely one of the most in recent memory that has actually like really touched me. And can't wait to play through it again and in all its glorious PS5ness.
Can you show us on the doll where it touched you?
I was going to make that same joke. Damn it, you had to do it.
It's right here, bro. Right here.
Oh, actually, now that you're here for the video, watchers or listeners, you at some point in this podcast you're gonna have to flash your new tattoo as well.
Oh yes, I forgot to say. Yeah.
But with Life is Strange, like, yes, games that have been around for a while, but they are impactful, and people are buying them every time they get re-released, so it's got to go to them. But the one that you said there, Saints Row, that interests me quite a bit.
It does look good.
Over Christmas, I've been playing some Saints Row when I was traveling, and it's because Saints Row the 4th was €2 on Switch, and it's flash deal 98% off or something, and I was like, cool, I'll buy that, because I thought it would run like crap and I would never buy it unless it was €2, and it was. So I bought it and I played it on the train, and it's super fun. It's actually runs really well on the Switch, and do you know the way, like, it's a kind of a, you can do anything, so you don't really want to do anything type of a game when you have it on console. When you have it on a Switch, it's like half an hour of just go nuts mad stuff, and that's perfect. It's a great platform for it. But it got me interested again in Saints Row. So Buzz, tell me, why does the new Saints Row look appealing to you?
Honestly, I think I kind of only half tune into the trailer, but there's just something about that game series. Definitely the first two, like, really piqued my interest. In the times when I couldn't play GTA because I was too young, but you could sneak Saints Row in because they didn't know what it was about, and you're like, yeah, it's grand. You don't have to play it.
I get it, man. I get it.
So I just really want to revisit it, and it's just such a fun series. So I'm hoping there's going to be a lot more fun around it too.
Absolutely. I throw it to the floor. What? Who?
Right.
Who?
We had.
Excited?
I have one there. We were throwing in a couple of TBCs. Now this one could be stretching it, because you'll be lucky if it does come out 2022, but it could. I am absolutely buzzing to see Senora Saga Hellblade 2.
Yeah, Hellblade 2, man.
Ah, man, that like so when that was shown, what was it recently shown at? You're gonna remind me now.
I don't know what recently.
Last big event.
Game Awards was probably the last big thing for Christmas.
Game Awards. Yeah, that was it. And even then they were like, by the way, just to let you know, this is in, like, this isn't CGI, this is like actual gameplay. Don't worry, no one else here could believe it as well. I was going to a mate's house, and 2 days later I was like, watch this is gameplay. I gave them the whole spiel, and they were the same. I'm very excited to see it. It's the type of, like, vibe and world that I love. It's like just crack into the back of my head. But yeah, I'm very excited for it. Yeah. Sure, where else are you gonna put it?
I get you. It does look like it's harnessing the full power of that machine. Like, and we do forget, like, I know it's not the be all and end all, but the Xbox is the most powerful console on the planet. Like, maybe not by a huge margin in comparison to PS5, but it has the upper hand. And so, like, if that game can come out and look as sweet as it does when it's being shown, as well as having Game Pass, as well as having all the exclusive this past year, like, it's another huge feather in that cap, isn't it? Like,
yeah. I haven't looked at much, actually. I may have a look. I played the first Hellblade and never finished it. It wore a bit thin on me after a while.
Did you play it with earphones?
Yes.
Okay. That's the right way to do it.
It still wore a bit thin on me after a while. After a while, I was just kind of like, I'm kind of done now. It didn't hold me. I thought the story was really cool.
Yes.
But I think the gameplay that it's wrapped around didn't hold me enough to finish it.
The combat wasn't amazing.
It was. Yeah. It left a lot to be desired, I think. It was very standard, but that story and that environment in the world and everything.
That was really cool. I cannot fault that in the slightest. Like,
indie game, like, well, it wasn't indie, it's Team Ninja or somebody, is it?
Well, Ninja, they say they call themselves AAA indie.
But that was like a AAA indie title, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't made by an indie, but it may as well have been. And, like, it was such a proof of concept. You know what I mean? Like it did some really cool things like that. Like when you have the earphones on and it's like talking to you in 3D space or whatever, and it's like all inside your head.
Beautiful.
It's cool stuff. And now, like, it's like, okay, we loved what you did there. Let's acquire this studio and throw all the money in the world at this. Like, this is going to be either awful or, the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho.
As you were talking about, actually, Forza Horizon H's Gran Turismo is also coming out in March-ish, is it? Or
Yes,
coming out
yes,
soon.
it is
Anyway.
indeed. Yes, the big
Yes.
old racing sim that it is that we get with every new PlayStation generation.
It's
Looking
amazing
forward
how
to it
photorealistic it gets every year. And I look at it on YouTube for a moment and I go, cool. And I move on
Yeah.
with my life.
I'm right there with you, Phil. As someone as like you know me, I'm an arcade racer man through and through. The sim racing games can just like they can stay over there for the guys who like the sim racing games. They are not for me at all.
I
It's
like both.
bizarre. Oh, sorry, Buzz, go ahead.
I like both. Any kind of a racer I do enjoy, and I'm looking forward to Gran Turismo because I haven't played one since like the one on the PS2.
Yeah.
And it's looking pretty sharp. And I also don't have an Xbox, so I can't play Forza. So
That's the thing. Like, that's what I was going to say was bizarre, is like Gran Turismo, right? So if you're a sim racer, you have a PC, and if you don't have a PC, you have a PlayStation 4, right? Or PlayStation 5 now, I guess. And for the most part, that's what it is. And if you look at like all the steering wheels on the market, like they've only started making them for Xbox on a serious scale. And like, I don't understand why it's such a bias for PlayStation, because Gran Turismo comes out like once every 7 years. Like, it's like, and then you have the Formula 1 game that's on the other thing. But over on Xbox, there's like racing games like every month. It's like, it's so bizarre to me.
It's because the guys who play Gran Turismo buy the new one that comes out, and then that's all they play till the next Gran Turismo comes out.
Possibly. That and Formula 1. Formula 1's a big one.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy in work the other day. We were having this conversation about racing sims versus racing things. I was talking to a customer, and he's crazy about racing sims, and he was playing, he said, Assetto Corsa, which is like a serious hardcore racing game, and he said he spent like 2 hours just setting up the car for the race before even doing the race.
God.
Man.
Yep.
Like, them boys are crazy about it. Like, they are nuts about it. And
I
if you
found
if they have the bucket seat and the whole wheel and everything, they're even extra crazy.
Yeah, I found like a lot of people that are very into racing sims are also into it in real life.
Yeah,
So I think
big
it's
time.
yeah. So it's kind of just getting to do your car indoors. So it's just handy for them. Like
That's exactly why it doesn't appeal to me. I don't even drive.
yeah, yeah.
Really
I
good
can get you.
cars. That'd be
No.
more like my brother or something like that. But
Yeah.
while we're actually talking about PlayStation as well, and we keep bringing up about games being on PS4 and PS5. Forspoken, which a few of us wrote down, it's PS5 and PC, but it's PS5 exclusive in terms of console. So hopefully that maybe might be the first thing we get that's like a bit, look what we can do with our powerful new hardware.
It's from the ground up though. It just looks like a tech demo, because it started off as the Unreal Engine 5 tech demo, didn't it?
Well, maybe.
Remember that thing? Remember that first thing we saw where it was just like a girl running through like a chasm and she was flying and stuff, and then a couple of months later everyone was like, make that game, and a couple of months later this trailer came out. I was like, oh, we're making Forspoken now. I don't know, it looks really, really cool, but I'm worried about like, it doesn't look like it's not shallow,
That's what I was about to say. I look at it and I go, "Ooh, that's cool," but I can kind of see how it's going to be bad in a way, if you know what I mean. Like,
I'm not that excited for it.
yeah, I'm still gonna pick it up and like hope, like, because remember last time I was talking about it, saying if the combat in game the combat and the movement in game is genuinely as smooth as it looks in the cutscenes, I will love this game. If it's not, it's going in the bin, the digital bin.
Wait for Deep Sale, I'd say. But like, if it gets massive reviews, like obviously, like great, I'll be delighted for it. There's just something about it that just kind of seemed like, it's a bit off.
I'm right there with you, and I bring it up solely for the fact that it is like a PS5 exclusive that's not been released on PS4, so it can take a bit more advantage of hardware and stuff.
Absolutely,
and that's the main thing that excites me about it. The game itself doesn't excite me that much. I'm more excited about the fact that it's a console exclusive and could hopefully show off some more PS5 power.
It'll be the Killzone Shadowfall of its console. Yes.
Yeah, it looks very Infamous-y or something to me as well. Like,
it does.
It looks like one of those.
We could use another one of those, if I'm honest.
Sure,
but speaking of console exclusivity,
Mm-hmm.
can't go without saying Starfield. Starfield has to be probably the biggest RPG expected in this next calendar year of our Lord 2022.
Probably.
I'm never big excited for these games. You know, like Fallout 4, I was kind of excited for that one, but like it kind of let me down. But I've learned to love it as the years went on. Skyrim, again, I kind of, they're my ever games. I just keep jumping into them. I don't know why. But like Starfield, if it is just Skyrim in space, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
But it does sound like Todd Howard is really leaning into his, because like people forget Todd Howard, for all the memes and for all the bad decisions Bethesda has made, like he began his career as an innovator, and he has created the most popular games in the world, pretty much. Like, you know, Skyrim has to be the most popular RPG of all time. Has to be. And like Daggerfall, when that came out, biggest thing ever, biggest landmass on a video game ever. Oblivion, all these mechanics, Skyrim, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. Like, he's been talking on Twitter about, I want to innovate on this. My biggest letdowns with Skyrim and Fallout were the AI models. I want that to be more realistic and fluid. I want this, that, and the other. If he delivers on half of what he's talking about, I think this could be a really special game. It'll probably be buggy as fuck, but it could be a really special game. What do you think?
Now, I was going to say, I agree, but I'll also say I don't even think it matters if it's buggy, because give that game 10 years and the mods that'll come out for it. If, as you said, if it is like Skyrim in space, imagine Skyrim in space, but with mods. Oh, boys.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
like Bethesda has this weird like blank check of, we have game-breaking bugs from launch and we will never fix them. No matter how much you ask us, we will never fix them. And yet still, we can't get enough of the fucking things. So like, this will be another one.
That's something I was going to bring up. Like, cause so far for Starfield, we've got like a logo and a CG trailer of a guy jumping into a ship. So I'm eager to see more before I make judgment. But it's the one thing that has always irked me about a lot of Bethesda games, is that they do so many innovative things, and all their games are fucking broken as hell. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's so bizarre, yeah.
It's so bizarre, like, and it's like they do the innovative thing at the cost of having a fully functioning game.
But not even, because like if the community can fix it overnight, then why can't they push a patch?
Yeah, I think they're just all about the innovation. Like, oh, we did the biggest landmass ever. Okay, we're done. Let's move on to the next innovation.
It's so weird. It's like they have no post-release strategy. It's just like, it released, move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Starfield is definitely going to sell gangbusters on Xbox, and it's a huge feather in that cap for, like, just to have Bethesda, the Skyrim folks, locked onto that platform now. Come on.
Yeah. I think that could be a system seller for me as well. I think I might pick up an Xbox or a PC just to play that game.
There you go. And you know why? That's why Microsoft paid, like, what was it, 5 times more than Disney paid for Marvel for Bethesda. Is because Marvel got you into a cinema seat. Bethesda gets you to buy a console, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly what it all makes business sense. I am going to do just like Buzz did real quick, and I'm going to do a quick lightning round.
Please do.
A couple of smaller things.
We have about another 10 minutes anyway, so we need to wrap this up. So if you guys all as a collective have stuff you need to get in there, do as Bowe does after him.
I have Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Shadow Warrior 3, Shovel Knight Dig, and Sifu.
Yes, Sifu looks really interesting, actually.
Sifu looks really cool. I like the whole like martial arts thing. Apparently it's actually quite challenging as well from some of the previews I've seen. Like, it is a hard game, and it's like, you know, there's some guys on YouTube, some like martial artists saying like, yeah, they got this really right. Like, they got the kung fu and stuff really right. And it's not just its own made up kung fu. It is a collaboration of real world, you know, whatever, karate and jiu-jitsu and
absolutely
all that jazz. So that looks fun and interesting. Lego Star Wars, just because, you know,
it's about time. Like, that's been like on the cards for so long.
Yeah. Shovel Knight, because Shovel Knight was just awesome fun. I really like that game. It's just super fun and cute, and the little knight dude with the shovel, that little sprite, I just love that guy. And Shadow Warrior 3, because I want some good dumb shooting stuff fun. I want some shooting stuff, blowing them up, and some dick jokes.
Can't go wrong with some dick jokes.
Can't go wrong with dick jokes,
yeah, that's it.
Jump in two very quickly, and these are my last two that I'm ever going to mention. And one of them is a smaller game that has a sequel from a previous one called Oxenfree 2. Oxenfree is a fantastic game. Night School is the developer there, and they did was it After Party as well? Fantastic games, very much like almost like arcadey old games, but like just really a lot of heart to them as well, and they're great games. Really looking forward to the second one, and then the bigger kind of open world fandom extravaganza that is WB. I'm gonna. It's fantastic. It's Hogwarts Legacy, and I can't wait to play that game as well. It got pushed back. Yeah, but it's just gonna be great.
I'm so surprised we haven't seen more from that. You know, like, especially with all the stuff with, you know, the author and whatever that they're kind of trying to separate away. Like, I'm surprised that the marketing team isn't like really active about that game to like try and, you know, take the ire away from it, if you get me. Like, yeah, it's so weird that we've only seen one CG trailer. Like, I don't know, it just seems like an instant sell. If I saw Hogwarts, like if I saw my character running around in Hogwarts, like that would, like, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, but it would make me buy it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if it comes out, I don't know if he's ever played The Prisoner of Azkaban on PS2, but if it comes out anything like that, where you got to fly around a Buckbeak, like around the grounds of Hogwarts and running through Hogwarts and stuff, like that's freaking fantastic.
That's what you want. That is what you want. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it too. I think my missus is probably looking forward to it more than anything in the world, and I think I'm going to be like shackled to the couch, and even though she plays games, I think she's going to make me play it just so she can sit there and take it all in.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, I was like, I thought you were going to say that your partner was going to play it. I was like, no, well, my partner will just make me play it.
No, I think she'll make me play it too, just so she can drink it all in, like sit there like a Clockwork Orange with her eyes pinned open, being like, oh, it's glorious.
If it comes out on PC though, I might pick it up there, because I would need to mod in PS1 Hagrid.
Yes, definitely.
It's a necessity. It's a necessity. Can't be playing without it. Aaron, have you any quick fires, or are we kind of
I had only two left to mention. I suppose they've already been mentioned. The Hogwarts Legacy interests me more than I thought it would. It's, I don't know, I meant to mention Chamber of Secrets on the PS2, and you could just hop on and fly around all of Hogwarts. Oh my god, incredible stuff. Which was really weird, because I also got the PC version of the game, and it's a completely different game. Like, it's literally
That's
not
the thing about Harry Potter games. Every platform's like a different game. It's weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It was, I could never understand that when I was younger. I was like, why didn't you just make the same game? I thought that'd be cheaper. Like, but anyway, then at the very end, to wrap it all up, Kerbal Space Program 2. I love the first one. I love me a good sandbox game. You know me. They're so cute, them little old fellas. And I don't know. There's something about you spend like 2 hours just staring at nothing, and then you land on a planet, and you're like, I should be in Mensa. It's just such an ego stroking game to play. I love it. I'm excited to see what they do. I was very surprised when it got announced, because it was like, it's just more sandbox, but I'm surprised it wasn't just added in. But I do believe they kind of just started the game from the ground up. I think I'm assuming it got to a point where they're like, right, these are things we want to add, and KSP1 is just so old at this stage. Like,
it's been so old, but it's been so heavily supported, and like I think it's like a team of like 3 guys made that or something.
It's a very small team. I do remember.
But the success they got out of it is astronomical. Like, for like the money that makes between a handful of people, do you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty good stuff. So like, I am interested. I hope they go the Darkest Dungeon route. As much as I kind of don't really like Darkest Dungeon 2 as much as the first one, I hope they don't just make Kerbal Space Program 1 again. You know, like, I hope that there's a different game here, because Kerbal Space Program 1 is not going anywhere. You know, you can still boot that up and play that with all the content and stuff. Because like what you said there, like, if it's more of it, I don't know how interesting that is. You know, like, I want to see something bizarre come out of it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it'd be nice if you have more than just the initial 9 planets. I mean, I hope there's loads of different ways you could have expanded it. I know a second ago I made a comment about, I don't know why I didn't just add it to the old game. KSP1 came out 11 years ago.
There we go.
Okay. The question answered. But yeah, anyway, sorry, that was my little final one. Just me and my little sandbox in the corner.
It's an Aaron game if ever I saw one. But Yeah, I think the only one I would add that hasn't been brought up is probably Stalker, and that's also an Xbox exclusive, I believe. That looks incredible from what we've seen. Oh, and another post-apocalyptic one that I'm surprised none of us brought up is Dying Light 2. That looks pretty sick as well. We've a lot of open world apocalypses coming our way.
Yeah.
That's been 2020 and 2021 though, so I don't know how much I want to go into them. Just world apocalypse.
2021, the simulator. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I think we have covered the gamut here. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of small little releases that are going to come up and light the world on fire. But like, from stuff that just comes up, the most anticipated stuff, I think we really have covered it here. I do still feel that like your big ticket items is going to be your Horizon Forbidden West. You've got your Elden Ring. You've got your God of War Ragnarok. You've got your, whenever it drops, Harry Potter. That'll definitely be a big one if it's not horrible. You've got obviously Starfield, so on and so forth. Like, it's going to be a good year for games.
It's going to be better than last year anyway.
Yeah.
And last year wasn't bad. Like, we went over it.
Could,
like,
yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
as bad as we thought.
Last year
it was
wasn't bad as much as it was just hampered. Which, to be fair, like, you know, it's no individual's fault. But yeah, so it can only get better from here.
That's a good way to wrap this up, is that we are anticipating these games for this year. And over the last 2 years, game developers who, as we know, have a tradition of staying in their offices too long, weren't allowed to go to their offices and had to change their working practices and had to adapt to this. And this had huge ramifications on timelines and figuring things out and everything else. And what's after happening is, as we all know, most of those games got delayed, and 2022 is going to be when most of these come to fruition. So like, this is why this year is going to be tough. And I'm so happy we moved on to the topic kind of structure rather than trying to play everything and have an opinion on it, because I would probably have to quit my job.
Yeah. Does anyone want to give a quick fire? Oh, sorry. Does anyone give a quick fire hot shot maybe on like what you all think the game of the year is going to be?
Oh, good call. Game of the year. I don't want to say it would be a AAA game because I don't want to assume that, but like, I only know of the AAA stuff that's coming out for the most part. So from what we've talked about today, I would say there's a good chance it's between Horizon and God of War.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same too. Yeah.
Now, Elden Ring could be it, but like, I don't think it'll have the mass appeal. But maybe this one will because it's open world. But like, I think those two will be in the arena for like the biggest Sony exclusive type ones, you know?
So
I think,
everyone.
I think with Elden Ring you'll hear about it a lot more. I suppose with like Game of the Year awards, even though like Horizon and God of War will definitely hit more of a casual audience, does the Game of the Year awards would tend to cater more. That's just my towards like the same fan base that would be really into Elden Ring. So maybe just by virtue of that, it could be in with a shot. But only time will tell. I would have said Elden Ring now myself because I just feel like there's, out of those three, I feel like that's the one that I feel like most people are like, I'm actually genuinely hyped for more than like, oh, I'll definitely play it when it comes out. Jam?
True. Shane, look like you're going to jump out of your skin.
As always, I know. No, I'm kind of in agreement with you, Phil. Based off what we've talked about today, I'd have to give it to either one of those two. I wish it'd be Elden Ring. Like, you know, there actually Dark Souls 3, I believe, got Game of the Year because there is a Game of the Year edition of Dark Souls 3.
There's a Game of the Year edition about everything. That means nothing.
Yeah.
No, it actually does. If you actually look back at anything that has a Game of the Year edition, they have all won Game of the Year. If they haven't won Game of the Year, they call themselves the Ultimate Edition or the whatever edition.
I think there is examples, but I'll have to bring it up. I'll bring I'll look it up and I'll bring my homework for the next show.
Year? Yeah,
do. Yeah. But I'm also, one thing I am excited for, which could potentially win Game of the Year, is whatever the indie darling is this year, whatever the Hades of 2022 is, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Whatever thing pops up that everyone is just constantly talking about and everybody has to play.
Yeah, that's why I had to say that at the beginning as well, but that's probably going to happen. We just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Kerbal Space Program 2.
Oxenfree 2.
What about you, Buzz?
Yeah, I'm going to say Oxenfree 2. Fuck it. Sorry, Kurt.
Nice.
No, you're good.
If
You're good.
it is, you're like, that's some call right now. If it is Oxenfree 2.
Yeah, man. Like if you were a betting man.
100 to 1. 100 to 1.
Yeah, $5 each way. Awesome. Yeah, I think that's we got a good year ahead of us. Okay.
Yes.
Let's just put it that way, guys. We got a good year ahead of us. And with that, shall we take home the first show of 2022, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Please.
Let's do it. All right, so guys, thanks a million for sticking with us. If you have never been here before, you, my friend, did stumble across what is by far the most casual of video game topic-based podcasts on the interwebs, a casual game cast, if you will. And if you would like to do us a favor, please do share the podcast, like the podcast, tell a friend about the podcast. That is very important. Join our socials. They are down in the description. And buzz! You are the newest member of the team, my friend, so it's on you to tell people who they should tell this week.
You should tell. Gosh, I always forget this is a thing. I'm gonna say,
Yeah, that's why I love doing it at the last minute.
Oh, we got it. I'm gonna say tell everyone. Put it on social media. Share it. There
we go.
Tell
There you go.
Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or wherever you are. Give us
Tell
a
the
share.
world. Tell the world. Get up on that soapbox and tell the goddamn world about the Casual Gamecast. But with no more ado, I've been Phil, he's been Shane, he has been Buzz, and he has been Aaron. Say goodbye, guys. Take care, God bless, and make sure and stay casual. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Adieu.
Bye.